Carolyne, who you'll see now, gave birth to her son. There's Javid. Carolyne, 58, when she had Javid, and we can now join her at her home in New South Wales, Australia. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Javid. Oh, yes, good morning to you, Javid. Carolyne, have you had to wake him up for this?
No, he's not slept yet.
OK, this could be interesting.
But one of the things we see there, of course, he hasn't slept yet, and the physicality of all of that, anybody who's a parent will know what it takes out of you. And I found, as I got older, the more children I had, I found out, how old was I, 42 when you had Jack?
When we had Jack.
I actually found, from a man's point of view, Carolyne, it exhausted me more at 42. How are you finding it at 58?
I'm finding it OK so far. He sleeps all through the night, and I've always had plenty of energy, so I'm managing OK.
That's good to hear. And, you know, also it's interesting because people wouldn't flinch if you were a grandparent. If you were looking after a grandchild, people would say, oh, you know, they'd be very happy to hand their child over. And there's a lot of young, in mind, grandparents as well. But do you think you would have the energy?
I still like to think I would. I really do, Carolyne. I didn't have Jack until I was 42. And so I do understand that longing for a child. I mean, how long... Oh, Javid. Sorry, my darling, keeping you awake. How long had you been trying for a child? You always knew you wanted children. Why had it become difficult for you?
I found it in my mid-30s that I had fertility issues. So it's been since then, you know, that I've really felt the longing for a child.
And can you describe that longing? Because, you know, there will be people now, we'll talk about this as we go on, that will say, oh, this is very selfish, you know, you're too old. Can you describe that longing when you really, really want a baby?
I didn't focus on it too much when I was younger. I think I tried to fill that gap with other things. I travelled a lot, I socialised a lot, but I always felt there was something missing. And since I've had Javid, I realised what was missing. My life is just complete now that I've got my baby, and I'm so happy that I've made the choice to go ahead with the IVF. And even though I'm an older mother, I'm coping really well, and he's very much loved and very much wanted.
And I mean, we totally get all that, but what if, and this is the big question, Carolyne, say, you know, you have less years in front of you than you have behind you. I mean, do you worry about come the day when you're not there for him?
Well, my sister, she's willing to take him if there's any problem with me. She's 5 years younger, and also my best friend, who was my birthing partner, she's 10 years younger, and she's very willing to take him if there's ever any issues in the future. But my family's quite long-lived. My dad's in his 90s, and he's still living at home alone. My mum passed away just before Javid was born, but she was in her mid-80s, so I expect to be around for quite a few years yet, you know.
So it's not something that you personally worry about. Other people worry about it on your behalf.
I'm just enjoying my time with him day to day and making the most of it, you know. I have a lot of spare time that I'm giving to him, whereas maybe a younger mother may be busier, you know, and not have the time, but he's got my full time, and we just enjoy every day.
Carolyne, let's just talk about how you got him, because you did have, as you said, unexplained infertility. This is embryo adoption, to which you went to India to do this. So you choose an egg donor and a sperm donor, is that right?
I did, yes.
And how did you choose? Did you have criteria?
I was given about 10 profiles of an egg donor, and I chose one from that, and about 6 profiles of a sperm donor from America, Caucasian sperm donor. The egg donor was Indian lady. She was 21. I just chose the one that felt right for me.
And Carolyne, Javid, there he is. He's your firstborn. Could I ask you, will he be your last born?
Yes, he will. I don't intend to have any more.
Well, look, lovely seeing you.
I'm very happy with him, but I don't want any more.
Well, it's really lovely seeing your happiness and the two of you together, and he's your dream boy. Thank you both very much indeed for talking about it this morning. We'll leave you to get him off to bed. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyne. Lots of people getting in touch.
Thank you, Eamonn.
Thank you, Carolyne. Bye-bye,
Thank you.
David. Sarah says if she can offer a child a loving home and a happy life, then why shouldn't she? Liz says 58 isn't old nowadays, as long as you're fit and healthy.
So that's your age. If you hadn't got a child, or indeed if you want another child, could you see yourself going through with Carolyne? Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I literally I feel fit, I feel healthy, I feel vibrant, I love children, I always wanted more than one, so, yeah.
Being aware of your age,
I wouldn't,
you
because
still
I've got
would.
one, but if I didn't have one, that's what I'm saying. So often people are in a privileged position of having children, saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, you're too old. But when you have that longing for a child, I don't feel I'm too old.
But when I look at Carolyne there with little Javid and what a bundle of energy is and whatever, I think that's my worst nightmare at 58. I'm thinking, no, done it all, don't want to revisit that, but you don't, you could.
Yeah, I'm not going to, but I kind of think I could. But don't you worry, I'm not going to.
Maybe if you get a younger husband.
There's a point.